The way the numbers work is why it's bad for buyers, because there's a $12,000 closing cost that's getting added if it's 2.5 or 3% or what, like depending on
the deal.
How do you
many cases?
How are we working that in the deal? Now, some of that can get wrapped into the mortgage, but for example, VA, you can't roll commissions into a mortgage. I think lenders might change their rules. Like there's too many variables, and other variables depend on other variables to know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
Miranda, what's up? What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are, if it hasn't been broken for the last 30 years, why are you trying to fix it?
You can't put it back. It's so, we got.
Why are you trying to fix it?
I like the free market. I gotta say,
I don't even understand how you're saying that free market in the sense of like, okay, are you saying free market in the sense of because the seller can choose not to pay 6%? Is that what you're saying? They could choose not to pay 6% right now. What are we talking about?
They can choose it, but the system makes it so that they almost can't choose
How?
it.
No, it doesn't.
No, it does not.
You're saying that
just because
you
you're brokerage,
feel like they don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but most people do.
If you put 0 in the co-op, you will get no showings.
That's what they're doing by taking it away.
Exactly.
No, you'll still get showings because you don't know that it's
You'll
0.
get showings, but as soon as you mention that you're not giving anything, people are going to kill the deal.
When your client likes the house, are you just going to stop the client from buying
You're going to
the
ask the
house?
client, how am I going to get paid? And the client's going to say, well, then maybe we should see another house because I don't know how you're going to get paid.
Wait, I have another point, too. If you're buying a house, I feel like you're just a person and you don't know anything. So how the heck are you going to take part in structuring a deal? Like, I think it's a blind spot you guys have. If I went to buy a house, I'd be like, how do I get a house? And now you got to like construct a deal with a buyer's agent.
Well, the agent should be doing that for you. That's the thing, is that's going to have to get worked out. Switch the camera. That's going to have to get worked out between the agents.
But the seller's agent isn't doing anything. But they're holding all the money.
They have the listing.
That's my problem.
Market yourself better.
So you're monopolizing the listings.
Market yourself. No, because anyone can get the listing.
No, what I'm saying is
But you market
you're
yourself better by offering commission to the other.
No, you get listings. This is the thing.
So then everybody needs to be a seller's agent, is what you're trying to say. And
no,
I
think buyers agents can excel if the buyers feel that the buyer's agent is worth paying for.
What is the buyer going to have to do if there's no standard set? You've never in history of buying homes had a standard set where a buyer is paying for the agent's cost of doing business. It just wasn't there ever. So now with this ruling, they're trying to make that a thing, which in turn is going to mess up a lot of deals because even on the structure of the deal, not even structuring it with the seller itself, but on the mortgage side of things alone,
it's a mess.
How are you going to do, come on. If a person who, first of all, the average person isn't getting approved for a $400,000 house. It's just not the case. So when it comes to middle income, single family homes, those people aren't just walking around with an extra 13 to 15 to however many thousands of dollars to pay you at a percentage of the overall price of the thing. So now you're saying to me that a buyer's agent is devalued more than a seller's agent. So a buyer's agent really doesn't matter. The seller's agent is the one that does. When the seller's agent is not doing anything.
They got the listing.
Just because you got the listing doesn't mean you're putting the necessary things together to work the deal. You cannot work a deal if you don't have a buyer. So, okay, host some open houses. Great.
Yeah, exactly. Get some people looking at it.
That might happen.
Get those offers, but when it comes down to it, if you're not offering that commission on the other side, most buyers they're not gonna want the deal.
The listing agent might be part of the fallout here. Is listing agents gonna have to work more? I don't know.
A listing agent literally can sit back with their feet up.
I didn't make
while
the
buyers
game.
agents are just bringing buyers left and right, this and the third, and then they also have
the listing
because
agent.
they still also have the money in their hands. That's like holding a steak in front of me and saying, "Oh well, you can't bite it," and then if you do bring somebody, I'll give you the smallest piece I got.
That's what they're doing.
I'm bringing you the money.
Look.
How are you holding money when I'm bringing you the money? You can't get money without me.
Don't hate the player, hate the game, bro.
But that's why it's so stupid. The ruling is dumb.
I have a question.
Because
I agree.
So before, it all came out of the seller's commission.
The seller would have it's negotiable, but they would have a 6% commission. We'll just say, give me my camera, and the agreement would say in the listing agreement, and we are going to offer 3% to a cooperating broker. Then,
well, you would get to put that percentage.
Yeah,
in
you could put whatever you want in there.
Wait, so
yes.
the seller would have in their thing that they'll give 3% to a buyer's agent. That was like the
and that would be in the MLS, so every agent could see what was offered.
Okay.
And they are taking that away where you can't see it. You could still do the same exact thing. You just can't broadcast it in the MLS.
So that can't be like your marketing strategy, basically, or whatever. Not marketing strategy, but that can't be.
It just has to be independently negotiated with every agent that proposes that they want to see the property. Essentially,
which again brings
which is madness, because if you're looking at 10 houses, are you going to negotiate 10? That's not going to happen.
Come on, like, it doesn't make sense. If you own the NBA, an NBA team, you own the Sixers, right? And Miranda's the #1 draft pick. I'm her agent. I have the draft pick. I'm bringing you the money. I'm literally bringing you the money.
Yeah.
So if I'm bringing you the money, you got to pay. Like, what are we talking about?
Or I'm just going to go to another team that's paying
Doesn't
more.
make any sense.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense at all. That's like,
and it doesn't matter how much you like that team.
You're not cold calling trying to get buyers to come to your house.
I don't think the NBA says though that there's a fee required to pay the agent, right? The agent has to negotiate with the team. Hey, if I bring my person here, here's my agent fee.
Right.
And they could say, no, we're going to pay you this much.
Well, technically, when the money gets distributed, it comes from the player's contract.
Right.
So that's negotiated with the player.
Right.
And it goes back into what I'm saying.
But it's an open negotiation.
Huh?
It's an open negotiation versus it being already set and put. Like the agent fee isn't like tagged on the player when they're looking for them.
It is.
No, it's not. It's between the player. That's the buyer.
No.
Or
the player is the seller is what I'm trying to say to you.
Right.
The buyer is the team. So you're the buyer. I have my player, right? I'm on his contract.
But that's between you and the player.
Hey, listen, when I get you this money, I'm going to get this amount. Okay, great. And they go get the money, and then the money.
But the agent could go to the team, the buyer, and say, I want 1% for my agent fee from you.
Yeah.
But it's not broadcast. It's not written somewhere. That's the issue. Look, America.
I'm not worried
this
about
America. Damn it.
I'm not even worried about it being broadcasted. That's cool.
Yeah.
But that's the essential problem, is that by it being written, it standardizes it in a way.
If it can't go on the listing, it has to come from somewhere.
Right.
If that means when
So
I
you
go
have
on
to
the showing
negotiate
time
it.
and I book the showing and you accept, that conversation needs to be happening right away.
So you're going to have 10 conversations when you show 10 houses.
Right, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, do it. It's more work.
And guess what?
It's
if
more
you
work for the
don't drop
buyer's
the
agent.
bag, I'm canceling the showing.
No, it's good though. More
I'm
work
saying that
means
your
more
house
room
is
to make
messed
some
up.
more money. You can do more things.
You don't have control over making the money, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, you have more control over
You can
making
negotiate.
money,
Seller
because
has
before
the
They're
money.
gonna wonder.
you were monopolized into that stupid one standardized deal that the big boys do that you can't mess with. So now you can.
No, the seller has the bread at the end of the day. The name of the game is not trying to put more of a cost onto your buyer. So the seller is paying for the entry.
And that's where it's messed up.
No, you said that's the name of the game though. But now that it's not like there's not a standardized way, now you have flexibility to maybe get some of the money out of the buyer and then maybe structure it and get some from the seller, and then you do things like that. So now you can do more things to provide better service for better or not better service.
So I'm with you, Kevin. I think though, I think we're jaded by the market too, because it's such a seller's market. If it was a buyer's market, right, the buyers would like it more. which is actually good, again, for it to be a more open system, right? But right now, the buyers are going to get screwed because they're going to have to pay more. Like, there's no way around it. The buyer is going to have to pay more. So it hurts the buyer now because sellers have so much leverage. That's why you're hating listing agents. But which I don't see this happening anytime soon, but if it ever becomes a buyer's market, now the listing agents are going to have to accommodate you more. And look, practically right now, I think it's when you send 10 emails or 10 phone calls to negotiate this commission for the buyer side, 7 or 8 of them people ain't going to even answer the phone. That's the problem.
7 or 8 of them ain't going to get shown either.
Exactly. It's going to drop their showings.
And that's what it's going to be.
Okay. But
because you hold the keys. I'm just trying to see if the key works. Does the key work or does the key not work?
I gotta say, as an American that believes in capitalism, I like more freedom for the consumers and options and negotiations. But the blind spot and the issue is we do care about the buyers, like Danny's saying, and when you guys are looking at it, you're like, the buyers are getting screwed. And I think the way the market is now, you're right. There's no way around it.
Because this is my thing.
But
if I'm a seller's agent,
if
I'm a seller's agent doing a listing presentation, and I say to them, "Hey, for marketing this and the third, blah blah blah, this is my fee," and I say 6%, you robbing the seller blind if you don't get a bread up to bring people to their crib.
Yes,
you're robbing them blind,
and this is America,
and they're allowing that. But when it comes on,
they agreed to it.
What do you mean? That's the whole problem with the whole thing now is that, it's, this is they're allowing it to even get more messy by not putting in there that you literally are showing the seller, hey, some of this money is going towards bringing people here. You're literally taking that out and saying, yo, I don't know what this 6% goes to.
Some of the things that I think about
to be determined
when I'm looking to get into a career that I didn't like about real estate was that I felt like you're actually kind of just a commodity. Like
that's why I do like the ruling. Yeah, I agree, Kev.
It feels like the whole thing is if people, and I guess it's probably a thing on social media and stuff too, where the real estate people are just people that they like you. Like you don't really have a skill or anything. People just like you, but now it seems like they added a threshold of skill that needs to be had. Because I always looked at it, I'm like, bro, you're just a commodity. You can't even create any leverage, to do anything to make more money. It seems like you can be a bit capped.
You can, but it's more now with the ruling.
Yeah.
And that
I think the seller's agent is a commodity.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, if I'm a seller, to be honest, I might as well pay the fee to put my house up on the MLS, pay somebody to take some nice pictures, right? Do that whole thing. And then literally put out there that, hey, if you bring your buyer, this is how much money I'm going to pay you. You can draw the contract up. You could damn near be dual agent at that point.